everybody. Welcome in. What is going on? So happy to have you here today. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we look at the tarot, astrology, your energy for the day, see what's coming through and what you need to be aware of. So let's get into it. We are moving into Scorpio season today when I am recording this. So we're just finishing up, wrapping up Libra season, which is or does have a heavy focus on partnerships, on relationships, on who and what we're choosing in our life, and how we engage, interact with those dynamics. And now that we're moving into Scorpio, it's going to be more the focus on with that information, right? With that information of what's going on in our world around us, who's supporting, who's not, who's being kind of like a bad player, bad agent, so to speak, in our lives, and who is really like has our back, who's willing to support, who's willing to give and receive, right? Reciprocity is what I wanted to say. And with that stuff being highlighted, we now get to choose a little bit more what feels authentic to us. Scorpio is about tapping into your desires and making change, making transformations accordingly. It's also a little bit of a magical season too, where, depending on where you're at, we're going to have Halloween at the end of the month, as well as Day of the Dead. So a way to really just like honor passed over loved ones, spirit, universe, God, however you connect with that. All right, so we'll start with an energy cleansing, set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, a little blessing for you, a little blessing for me. It's also a really good time to set your own intention. If you would like specific messages or have questions, definitely give those over to Spirit. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings as a side note. If you want me to look into your situation, I do tarot, astrology, mediumship, also energy healing and holistic wellness. So recalibrating the mind, body, and soul. If you want support, I'm definitely here. That's one of my favorite things to do is give love and support. So all that info's in the description box below. Definitely hit me up. All right, we'll get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, overwhelm, impatience. Help us to see, sense, and understand what we need to learn and know, and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Okay, so happy Scorpio season. Happy birthday if you're celebrating this month as well. Like I said, it's a fun time. It's a magical time. We're in a change of season as well. So keep that in mind just as we're moving into, depending on where you're located, but in the northern hemisphere into the colder months, southern hemisphere into the warmer months. Really kind of just take inventory of where you're at, what you feel. Like I said, 100%. Where your abundance is coming from. This pomegranate energy is related to that fruitfulness, that abundance that we hopefully are tapping into, or that is the goal, right? Pluto's moving into Aquarius. Gosh, dude. Okay. Yeah, things are on hold right now. So a lot of the situations that you've been dealing with for some time or are not seeing a lot of movement, a lot of evolution, it's at a standstill for whatever reason. I think a lot of this is just like finding our own grounding within these dynamics, how we're going to approach them, what our responses are going to be, and that kind of dictates how things are going to move forward. A lot of the emotions are being triggered right now. Yeah, it's the shadow side. The moth represents our shadow. So those places that we don't necessarily like to look at, that maybe make us feel a little bit more uncomfortable. But ironically or not, Scorpio energy is attached to the shadow self. It is governed by the Lord of the underworld. So that ability to go into those deeper, darker parts of yourself, like I said, that might be a little bit more uncomfortable, that you might have a lot of shame or judgment around, and being able to really connect with your desires there, right? Not that you're, engaging in some hooligan behavior. I'm not talking about that, like, secretly angry at someone and you're going to go take it out on them. That's not what I'm talking about. It's more of an uncovering, right? It's a revealing of knowledge, of information about yourself, about why you might get triggered around certain people or situations, why it's such a bash against your ego. And more of this masculine energy, the masculine planets, are definitely taking a hit to our ego. I think in part because we're not seeing a lot of momentum, because there's a lot of uncertainty in the air as to how the cards are going to fall, the chips are going to fall, so to speak. And there's resistance to the change. We got the same card in the same spot yesterday. A lot of it is about quote unquote divine timing, or just timing in general, making sure that things line up, things are closing off. Like I said, Pluto's going to be moving into Aquarius next month, mid next month. And so we're in this place where we get to set the tone for what that's going to look like. That Violets was in that same spot as well. Excuse me. So we're getting a lot of the same energy as yesterday. And I think that this is a little bit more of the humbling, right? The humbling that you're going to be, or you are experiencing right now. We are coming off of a full moon at the tail end of last week in Aries, which really focuses on ourself, right? Who we are, like I was talking about in the beginning, the way that we invite relationships into our life and how we exchange in those dynamics. And so making sure, like it's kind of like this insurance program is what I'm hearing, making sure that you're not making the same habits and choices again. You do have to have more of this masculine rigidity that the Emperor brings, where it's like not being so flexible, knowing your boundaries, and specifically about the things that are really triggering you or pushing you to a certain capacity. It's making sure that you're not reacting, right? You're not reacting out of someone triggering you, but you're responding, I should say, from that place of wisdom and control. And part of that means you have to know where those triggerings lie, where those things are going to come up. And some of it is being a little bit on the defensive, right? I'm seeing the Seven of Wands as like swatting people away, like you're kind of just at the top of the mountain taking swats. Apparently, there might be some repressed fire in this reading today. Mars is having a little bit of a hard time. It's tensely aspected to Pluto as well as to Chiron. So Mars really doesn't want to do the healing. Mars wants to pretend it's fine. Mars wants to just keep going and not pay attention to any of the detail, or only pay attention when necessary. And so it's kind of putting you in this like combative space today. I mean, some of this might just be because you're seeing parts of yourself pop up that feel a little bit more uncomfortable. But then at the same time, I feel like you have to also recognize where you do close yourself off, where there are parts of you that you do limit yourself. And, it's as simple as taking time to learn, to explore, to investigate, to understand, because it is about making a simple decision. What I love about the Two of Swords, it's a decision, one way or the other. They both have their pros and cons. They're both going to deliver good and bad. And so it's just making the decision. And honestly, the message of the Two of Swords is if you don't make a decision, you're still making a decision, right? You're leaving that up to how the chips might fall. And it's more about embracing the control and taking, steps towards your empowerment, towards your movement. Knight of Wands energy. It's just, we've been seeing Knight of Wands, King of Wands, the whole Wands family pop up a lot. And it's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's representative of fire energy. They don't have to be a fire sign, but it's just someone who is really combative. Someone who does really have their own agenda at play. And we've been seeing this person, this energy pop up, that it is going to be a matter of time before you have to contend with them, before you have to deal with them. And I feel like right now, a lot of it is about balancing all that you have going on. Ironically, Libra season is all about balance. It's about balancing of the scales. You have a lot of focus on your home, on your money, on your finances right now. I don't know why I'm putting that away. Sorry. There might be some residual stress, right? Stress from all the things that you have going on. So you can't really pay a lot of attention maybe, or maybe you feel like you can't pay a lot of attention to some of these things that might be hindering you. But there is benefit, right? The message yesterday with this violets in your block position is it's all about heightening your intuition, right? Giving you more of that sense of courage and power and control over your life circumstances and what's happening. But if you're staying too much in the chaos of it all, the drama, the back and forth, the in and out, it makes it hard to take your focus off of that drama, right? And put it towards yourself. And I feel like that's exactly what this Knight of Wands wants you to do. There is this desire, Two of Cups at the bottom. They want to connect. They don't want to lose you, right? They don't want to lose you. And so even if their tactics are indirect or maybe even a little underhanded, like it kind of reminds me of running around at the playground and, some boy pulling your hair. That's what this energy reminds me of. Someone who doesn't really know how to speak, how to articulate what they think, what they feel, trying to keep you around. You might even have some financial attachments to them. They affect your finances specifically is what I'm hearing. And they're in a lot of pain. We've been seeing this a lot, them acting out of their bad behavior. They're acting out of their pain and grief. Yeah, but it's a fight that has gone on long enough. It's a fight that's gone on long enough. And you're in this place where you have the power to make changes, where you have the power to show up a little bit differently. And unfortunately, you have been forced to look at the places where maybe you invest a little bit more in things that don't make you happy, things that maybe seem like they're going to on the surface level. And then when you get into the dynamic, right, you end up realizing there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of hurt, there's drama, there's chaos. Someone's always trying to fight. Someone's always trying to be the one on top. And, it feels like this person is not going to bend or flex. It's going to be their way or the highway. And that's just the name of the game. And depending on how much you want to engage with this energy, if you do, just know there's going to be hurtful things said, done. It's going to rope you back into this energy that much more, even though you've worked so hard to get out of it. So make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself too much, right? Make sure that you are giving yourself time and space to grieve and heal, to look at the reasons why you've engaged in this dynamic or you're allowing it in your life. Maybe you can't get out of it. Maybe it's something you're kind of stuck in. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. Then setting better boundaries is what I'm hearing, right? Like sometimes we're limited in our choices and our options, but there's always options and choices. And I feel like even though this dynamic has made it very difficult for you to move. Like I hear there's no wiggle room, right? Like you have to keep pushing forward. You have to keep moving forward. But there's a part of you, I don't know, there's a lot of fear of what you're going to discover, fear of what you're going to find out. A lot of this stuff is going to be revealed, right? But that fear is definitely keeping you limited. So Sagittarian energy is all about expansion. It's the curiosity to see what else is out there so you can grow, so that you can evolve and be a super powerful version of yourself, right? But you have to go out, you have to put yourself out there and seek and find what that is. There's a little bit of a hamster wheel energy happening today where you might just feel like you're hitting the same things over and over and over again. And this is the beauty, as I'm saying, this is the beauty of Scorpio season, because it connects us with what we desire. If we don't like the way life is looking for us in these moments, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to make changes, to make different choices, to find your own success. But yeah, it does take courage. It does take courage, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's the easiest path in front of you, but I feel like you've done enough to this point where this courage is becoming more normal. It's becoming more of a habit and not as much about the fear. But I feel like it's also being honest with yourself about maybe the places that you are a little resistant to new connections, new people, where you feel very self-protected. A lot of this comes from the hurt and the pain of the past. But again, don't let it block your new opportunities. You have so much here going for you that Spirit wants to deliver. And it's just about being a little bit more cognizant, a little more present in yourself and your own awareness around how you're not going to create these or get yourself wrapped up in these, these crazy dynamics, and actually choose your happiness, right? That's what this is all about. We might as well be happy while we're here, right? And so thank you so much for your time and energy always. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. If you did, definitely drop comments below. I love to hear. I also love to connect, share, and a little love, a little TLC, because I super appreciate all the love you bring to the channel. I hope that you're well, and I look forward to seeing you next time. All the love and blessings your way.